Howdy ho, I'm Richard from Burning Spears. So I was going to come home and cook steak and chips. So instead of the chips, I'm just going to do a flatbread. Garlic, mozzarella. Steak is a sirloin on the bone. Americans would probably call it a porterhouse. English and South African rump steak. Hampshire beef, where I live. So it's local beef. It's got some marbling, but a lot of fat. It's unusual to get this much fat in the UK. It's normally always trimmed off. And you might not be able to tell, but I kind of like fatty meat. So I'm going to do that very simply. I'm just going to salt and pepper. Get the Kamado Joe searingly hot, 250, 300 plus. And I'm just going to really give those a really good sear, and then try my best to get a little bit of rendering on the fat. But there's a lot of fat there, and these steaks are thin. Definitely medium rare, and that would be a blessing, but probably a little bit past that because of the thickness. And of course you want some of the fat to render down. Off camera I'm going to make a jalapeno and cheese sauce. I'm not going to do a roux like the normal one. I'm going to do a cream sauce. So it's cream on a very low heat, and you slowly add the cheese very low heat because it splits really easy, and you get the cheese coming through just past the cream. I'm using cheddar cheese, a little bit of mozzarella for the string, and I'm putting jalapenos in it for the little bit of spice. One thing I am going to do a little bit different to what I normally do. On Gugu Foods, I see that Gugu always uses butter or a beef tallow on a steak to get that nice crust in that. I'm just going to coat them up with garlic butter and put them back on just for a little bit of a sear. He is an amazing barbecuist, and he certainly knows what he's talking about. It's going to be a mozzarella and garlic flatbread with a salad. The salad, you'll see, because it's so hot, it's no salad leaves in there. It's basically like a Greekish type salad. So I've melted butter, half a block. Season, not too much because it is salted butter. But of course you want some nice pepper in there. So that I will just reheat just before using it. But there's raw garlic, salt, pepper, butter. Okay, so I'm looking at these steaks, and there honestly is a little bit too much fat to render for the thickness of steak that it is. So I'm going to thin that off. And generally this is committing sacrilege for me. I would never normally do that, but because that's a very thin steak, that fat wouldn't be cooked enough. This one I'm going to take a chance on. It's probably another 40% thicker than that. Needless to say, we don't need to guess which one I'll be eating. Nice and liberally, as always. Diamond crystal kosher salt, best in the business. 50% less sodium than normal salt. Pepper. Beers are cold. Get a lot of salt on the fat. Fat's going to drip, and a lot of it's going to walk right off there. So you just need to be very liberal to get the best results. What I'm going to do to help this, just going to score it lightly to help it separate. Okay, so steak's done. So there we go. I'm going to get the cheese sauce ready and do a little bit of prep on the bread, and then turn my attention to the cooking part. So stick with me and let's see how it turns out. Here I have an innocent little flatbread, store-bought. It is Monday, guys. And one thing I do need to work on still is my doughs. I'm not an expert in any way, shape or form, and I do want to be, so watch this space. Alright, so garlic butter. And then some mozzarella. You could use parmesan, you could use anything you want. You always want to get a nice good covering of things, because there's nothing worse than you're looking at the best part with the most cheese or the most pepperoni or whatever, and you're looking at that and thinking, I can't wait to have that. You cut it up, everyone comes to dish up for themselves, and they take that piece. So be consistent throughout life. That's my top tip for this Monday. Okay, so that's gonna sit there and wait for a bit. I'm gonna go do the cheese sauce with cream, mozzarella for the string, cheddar cheese for the nuttiness and the bite, and then of course some chopped up jalapenos for a bit of warmth. We're at 250 degrees now on the Kamado Joe. I did open all the taps, so it won't take long. These things, when they get going, you can literally watch the temperature climb like that. So on the inside, you can see, typically often the way I cook is with the half deflector on. So I've got a relaxed zone for when things get a bit hot on the direct zone. So direct, lots of coals. I'm going to burn this unit clean as part of my maintenance afterwards. So I've packed a full tank of coal in there. Plus I've got a fantastic delivery of Glow Baltic charcoal. It's a tower of some of the world's best charcoal. It is insane stuff. From Ukraine as well, Slava Ukraini, and it's a great product. It's single wood birch, so you get used to the flavor, and it's really something I love working with. So I've got a whole new batch and I can afford to waste a bit. So here we go. Fat away from the middle. Okay, as you see, we are burning away. Super hot. Beautiful crust starting to form. Okay, so here we have it. Beautiful steaks, garlic butter, mozzarella, garlic butter bread, cheese sauce, salad. And there we have it, my Monday steak night.